Grenada is mourning the loss of a committed lifelong educator and author, Mrs. Beverly Steele, who passed away on Monday, December 20th, 2022. According to her son, Kyle Steele, his mother had a hard battle from the start with her illness, which was sudden and strong, adding that she is at least resting comfortably now after 80 magnificent years. Mrs. Steele served as the head of the University of the West Indies Open Campus during the 1990s and was a profound keeper of Grenadian history. She published several books on Grenada, including A History of Its People and Grenada in Wartime, The Tragic Loss of the Island Queen, and Other Memories of World War II. John Angus Martin, local historian in Grenada, spoke of Mrs. Steele's many contributions to Grenada's history and education.
She was definitely a pioneer, and in the time that she was writing as well, in the 1970s and the 1980s, 1990s, she really made an impact. And as the resident tutor of the UWI branch in Grenada, she spearheaded a lot of efforts, a lot of programs to promote Grenada's history and culture. I think for me, even recently, we were working on a UNESCO-sponsored Intangible Cultural Heritage project. And in doing some of the research for that, I would share with them an article that Beverly Steele wrote back in 1976, I think, Folk Dances in Grenada. Actually, no, it's in the 90s she wrote it, sorry. But Folk Dances in Grenada, which is probably the only source material we have when we're looking at the history of folk dances in Grenada.
Mrs. Steele was recognized for her work and was accorded the honor of being awarded the title of CBE, Commander of the Order of the British Empire. Mr. Martin says that the role played by Mrs. Steele was the foundation work of preserving our history for the new generation and the generation to come. He said that her work will go a long way and she will be greatly missed.
Enjoy the interactions I've had with Beverly. I think she has come even earlier on at the museum. Beverly would come to some of the events we had, always interacting, always willing to share. I remember she sent me some material that she had researched that she thought I would be interested in. So she was always reaching out and recognizing even though I'm not as young, I am of the younger generation. So I think she was always willing to work with whoever and always willing to share the knowledge she had.
John Martin says that more needs to be done to recognize and honor people like Beverly Steele, who put a stamp on Grenada's history and the culture.
I think we don't always do the best job of honoring the people who have made contributions, but she was given an honorary doctorate from the University of the West Indies for the work that she did. So there is that recognition. I think maybe in Grenada we need to recognize. We don't always recognize the people who have made these larger contributions, and I think maybe this is when we need to start. You know, all of the writers who are prominent today should advocate, you know, that we take some time to honor the people who have laid the foundation of our society today and how we move forward.
Mrs. Steele was a Jamaican by birth. She was a Grenadian in spirit and love. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.